Hi, I'm Roger Eaton. Welcome to my world.
The first time we spoke about New York, you mentioned there was something in the air.
Oh, yeah,
Could you expand on that?
totally. New York in the late 80s was a time of complete zeitgeist. There was an incredible feeling of inspiration. Art was popping everywhere. Photography, painting, sculpture, performance art, music. It was a real time of life. It was also fairly drug fueled and party fueled. It was a big time of selection of drugs. I think at that time crack cocaine had become quite a big deal. But a lot of people being shot, people getting desperate. Quite a few of my friends died of hot bags of heroin. It's just basically when the heroin's bad and it becomes poisonous. John Michel Basquiat died like that. In the end, Andy Warhol, he died in hospital through getting mixed up by having the wrong, being administered the wrong drugs. There were lots of people smoking marijuana, investigating psychedelics, and I think that was probably part of the creative surge. And sometimes it was too much, and it was probably hardly ever too little. I think there was a lot of inspiration that came out of altered consciousness, investigation into consciousness. It wasn't about the drugs. It was really about how it would give one a freedom to think in a different way. Creativity has often, but not always, been enhanced by being able to see things in different ways and break away from a conventional consciousness. Some people would call it madness. You didn't have to take the drugs, and you could definitely come down off them. That was really a good thing.
What inspired A Tale of Night Gangbang?
One day I decided that I needed to find out a little bit more about America. I got this auto drive away to Los Angeles, which is basically you deliver a car, and it's that simple. But I decided to go a little bit feral with it and sleep in the car or by the side of the car or whatever, and not go into any particular established places to sleep or anything like that until I hit California, which I was saving up a sort of classic motel with a swimming pool that I could dive into. So anyway, there I am going across America, and I was smoking a little bit of weed as well because you're going to go 55 miles an hour, and it was lovely. Country music and that combination was fantastic. I'd also brought with me a rather lovely little stash of mushrooms, but I was just about to hit American Indian territory. And this was the Navajo reservation, and it was a beautiful evening, and it was prairie, and the wind was going through the grass. And I thought, this is the time. So I gobbled down these mushrooms, and I forgot all about it because I was listening to music and having a fabulous sort of enjoyment of nature. And there were some hitchhikers, and I stopped and I picked them up, and they were American Indians. And we sort of had a bit of a chat, and because I wasn't American, I was English. They'd never come across an English person before, and they invited me to their powwow. And I was, it was a no-brainer. I was absolutely, absolutely. So I went to the powwow. I'd forgotten all about the mushrooms. So halfway through this powwow, these mushrooms kicked in, and it was extraordinary. And I couldn't quite deal with being sort of so close to all these. So I went outside, went up the hill, and the sky was at night, and it was just amazing. And I sort of had this incredible connection. There was an epiphany that I sort of felt I'd met a god of some kind. It was just a really, really big, fundamental spiritual experience. And it was fantastic. That was another kind of whole period that sort of built up to a tale of night angling on some level.